Actually, me and Ben have a little bit of a disagreement going on here with what's going to be beneath this soil. It's looking suspiciously like a non-soil floor, like a flagstone.
Cobbles.
Yeah. That's exciting, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Look at that.
Good afternoon. So it's been a few days since we had the camera on, and it's been nice, but we've just been doing little bits and pieces. Let me show you what Dawn's now finished with regards to the ivy in this building. So a good few hours of work and all of the ivy has completely gone. And we were discussing that the wall didn't look like it needed very much repair and it would be more repointing than anything else, but with the ivy gone, it's shown us some big holes. They don't actually look that big on the screen, and then quite a few areas which will need more than just pointing up. We've got a lovely little recess there. We're not sure it's supposed to be there, but it's there. And then while Dawn was doing that, I was having a scrape at these cobbles, trying to remove just enough soil between them, just so that you're walking on cobbles rather than mud with some cobbles poking through. And it's very, very time consuming. This end has had a rough going over, and then today I chucked the diesel heater on just to see if that would dry the soil out while we were doing other things. But as the week goes on, I'll be scraping more of the soil out between the cobbles so the cobbles are fully exposed. Fully meaning you can see the cobbles, not the whole cobble being exposed, because then obviously they'd just be loose and move around. And we're also really, really tempted to just take back maybe another 12 inches of that. The dark stuff, that's ash from the stoves. This was very, very muddy, and the ash is actually like a gravel. So we put that on there, and that's made a huge difference. Now, what else went on while the camera wasn't on? So yesterday, while I was doing some of the cobbles in there, Dawn then put up our second mini greenhouse mini greenhouse for the seedlings. Last year we just had the beginners, and then this year we decided we'd go for the intermediates. As we said last year, we're not really gardeners, but you have to start somewhere, so we did the beginners greenhouse first, on to the intermediates this year to get more seedlings going. And we actually, I don't know if you can see in here, see through there? No. In there, that green is actually strawberry plants from last year. So Dawn put that up yesterday, and we moved the blocks that we'd put there and everything else, and that's where that's going to live. It gets plenty of sun all day long. And with the inside of this outbuilding ivy free, Dawn has moved on to the outside, because this, although we hit this really hard, I don't know, 12 months, no, more than 12 months ago, I'm not sure, but yeah, we hit it hard anyway, and we killed a lot of the ivy off, a lot of it came off.
Especially this.
Yeah, this section.
Didn't get to that.
No, we hadn't cleared out the sink, had we, at that point? The sink being, if you knew, this section between the two buildings, the previous owners called it the sink, and that had lots of stones in it and bits of rubbish and things, so we cleared that out. But this is still growing, even though all of the base were cut off. The top part is still growing, so Dawn's taking that off at the moment and taking some of the big dead roots out that were down there. So that's what Dawn's up to. So everything at the moment is going in line with our 2025 plans now. This outbuilding is now clear. Yes, there's a little bit more work on the floor to do. In the future it will be pointed with lime and everything else, which is Dawn's department. So we rang for a skip because that is next on our list, hoping we'd get one Tuesday, Wednesday this week. To be told we won't be getting one until a week tomorrow, which is a Tuesday tomorrow, so a week's time. So that's sort of set us back. Ideally we would have liked to have got everything into the skip, get the back area tidy, which you saw a couple of videos ago, which we piled all the stuff up ready for the skip. So what we're going to do in the meantime is the job, which it doesn't get forgotten about, does it? The grass and things and the land.
No, it's
but
just that we end up with
more to do because because we don't mow it, because we
on now, isn't it?
Yeah. If we're doing other bits and pieces, like if we were to get the skip, that would be the focus. So mowing the grass, trimming and everything else would get put on a back burner. Just in the few weeks since we were down there chopping the fallen trees up and everything, the grass, the buttercups, they're already going mad. So we're going to take advantage of the fact that we haven't got a skip.
And the weather's nice.
And the weather's lovely this week, isn't it?
Next few days.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really nice weather for the next few days. So we're going to take advantage of that. So at the moment, I'm just seeing if the petrol strimmer will start. I'll get some more oil in the mower, etc. and so on. The bits you do at the beginning of the year when you're going to start mowing. This is that other metal pile pillar thing. There. But I think it's a half one and not a mid one and not an end one.
Yeah.
And then that, which we've not seen before, could be another one of the big concrete pads.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's any metal in it. A post.
It's quite big.
Yeah, it is. It does look like one of those.
I was going to say that's exciting, but there's no barn there anymore. But
No, barn's long
but
gone.
it's nice to know where they are.
Yeah, because we don't have a size for it.
No, but that would. Is it all the way?
I don't know. Hold that kick.
Looks like it.
Right, so on the old maps, See, and this is why everything takes us so long to do.
I'll tell you what though, it's been a great week this week, because we've got back to where we just fascinated again.
Yeah.
With everything.
Yeah.
And that's why it takes so long.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, yesterday we've had a tidy in. It sounds like we own millions of acres. We've prepared by moving bits out the way, the polytunnel frames down where the polytunnel is going to go. So today is a strimming and a mowing, and it sounds like it shouldn't take long.
No, but we do.
It's nearly an acre of land. It does take a while. But
if you've been here a while, you'll know we get sidetracked quite often.
And quite easily.
Yeah.
Right, so what we have, the old maps show there was a hay barn here on this clearing. Now, what makes that big conifer falling down in the storm quite handy was this wasn't that accessible in the past. But, so here we go. That, for the location on the map, and the map was, I'm not sure which map it was, the second one I think. I'll put the date up on the screen. We think that's the corner post, and then coming over here we think this is the mound for the other corner post, and it's all a concrete pad. And then along here is what we're guessing are stones to edge the side of the barn. A hay barn, whatever you want to call it. The pile of dirt was from us 18 months ago. And then as you walk along, and this is what we were just looking at because Dawn hadn't seen it, there are various stones, and this is the beauty of not taking anything out too quickly, because just in here, so there's the metal, which might be an intermediate post on the barn, and we don't know. And then this one is possibly the corner on the concrete pad, which then would take us over to here-ish for the other corner. And there you go, you can see the stones quite clearly. So this investigation won't be anytime soon, because Dawn's wandering around the garden, sticking her foot in all sorts of things. See, the stones are there and they're an absolute nightmare to mow around, but we don't want to...
That's why we've trimmed them.
Yeah.
So we don't hit them with the mower, so then over time they're coming more and more
prominent, yeah.
Which is handy, because then we'll get to a point when we can mow around them rather than them being hidden.
That's
all
right.
the time.
And they've always seemed that they're there for a purpose. We have random stones.
Yeah, they're all the way down the path. You can't really tell because of all the chippings now, but when you walk down the path, there's stones
edging the ditch.
It really,
yeah.
And they edge the ditch around on the left-hand side.
So yeah, we haven't pulled out any stones. We think it's just in an odd place, because you never know, one day...
There's generally a purpose.
Yeah.
People knew what they were doing. They are there for a reason. Big piles of stones in an outbuilding are not there for a reason.
No.
Well, they are.
They are, for us to move.
They're there because they were possibly pushed in from the gable.
Yeah.
And they're there for that reason. But certainly things like this...
Yeah,
you can see it, and I think because we've done the land more and more...
Yeah, this is it. As time goes on, they're standing out more and more.
Yeah.
And down here. Now, the hay barn, we were looking at a bit of history, and the hay barn that was on our land was then replaced by that one over there. And we know that because one of the family members who used to live here told us the other day. And it appears that, was it a grant?
I think so. I
think
I read it was 1940s. There was a push really to
to modernise.
To do these Haybarns.
Yeah.
So lots of them started popping up all over the place.
Yeah, so the lady who used to live here knows that Haybarn was used. The milking parlour that was over that side used to be used. And actually not these buildings, not that she remembers, but I think she's only 70?
60s.
Yeah, late 60s, yeah. Sorry if, yeah.
She'll be most put out
I
if you
won't be popular. But anyway, that's for another day. Is there just dirt there, or is there a floor there at this level? But we don't fancy digging it today, so we're going to carry on mowing.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not doing. We've had enough of digging at the moment.
Yeah.
It won't be long before we dig again.
No, I'm sure it will.
Been a little piglet, aren't you?
Spin.
Be nice.
Sit down. It's kinder than the trowel as well.
Yeah. It just does it gradually, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then you get a chance to think about it rather than taking out a chunk and think,
the trowel is harsh.
So there's a lot of thick.
Yeah, and there'll be stone under that.
How come the stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away and show us where we are? What makes the sun go to sleep every night, and what's it dreaming of? I wonder. come the sky sometimes hides behind the clouds? Maybe it's just like me, a little bit scared of heights. Why does the rain always keep on pouring down when it's grey outside? It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. It really makes me wonder.
When you see
I wonder.
thickness of that ivy outside, no wonder really, is it?
So is the question, are we mad? Quite possibly we are.
Yeah.
But also, we do think it's worth being down on our hands and knees with a scrubbing brush. We've gone through possible ideas of what we can do to expose each cobble. I was starting with the trowel and go around each one, but it seemed to be digging in too far in between the cobbles, which then, to use this as a storage space just as it is for now, it would have been really uneven. We thought about jet washing it like we did the farmyard out the back. Now the farmyard out the back made a big mess.
Yeah, it did.
In here it would possibly work. It may take too much dirt out between the cobbles, but we'd end up with such a big puddle down that end because we haven't really looked for any drainage down there yet. So the plan is we have, there's yours.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the second one I brought out then.
The plan is to literally go around each cobble by hand and expose the top of it and some sides if it's round. Once it's all brushed back to a degree we're happy with, we think we're then going to quite literally get a bucket of water and clean the top of each one. We're going to do that last, because we tried it on one of the stones, and although it worked, it then made the dirt between the cobbles very dirty, very muddy. So we think that would just cause a huge mess as well while we're trying to work, because it's going to flow downhill. So we're going to expose them all with a scrubbing brush each and just keep brushing it back, and then we'll go through and we'll clean each one up just to try and get the dirt off the top of each cobble.
Yeah, try and get some.
Yeah,
because they're not all the same colour, are they?
They are.
At the moment,
they're all brown.
They're all just brown.
But there will be a variation in colour once they are clean. So that takes us back to the question of, are we mad? We think it's worth it.
How come the trees gets undressed when it's cold? And don't they miss the leaves they left behind? Could it be to make the ground shine like gold until winter comes? Until winter comes, until winter comes. It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. It really makes me wonder. Oh, I wonder. Stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away and show us where we are. It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. Oh, I wonder. Oh, I just wonder.
So as another week comes to an end, we find Ben scrubbing stones.
Or Cinderella.
Yeah. This really is as far as we're going to go with it. We'd love nothing more really to just uncover every stone, clean it all up. But we do have a skip arriving on Tuesday, and fingers crossed, we hope, don't we, by next Sunday, Sunday's video,
we'll be in the kitchen.
We might be in the kitchen uncovering or opening the original kitchen farmhouse fireplace.
Yeah.
Which,
if you haven't seen it, is
the red brick arch, isn't it?
It's a red brick arch with shoulders.
Yeah.
Normally you see them and it's just a timber beam going across very straight. Ours does have but it's just always on the face of it been filled with concrete.
Yeah, because of the range being put in we since found out in the 60s.
Yeah.
It was then, we're not sure how, blocks, stones, cement, lime within it, we don't know. The exterior's concrete, cement.
Yeah.
And that's the plan anyway. So this really is as far as we're going with this, because we need to get the stuff back in it really.
Yeah.
We are chuffed a bit, over the moon, whatever words you want to describe.
All of the above.
Yeah, with what we've found. And at some point, as you can see from the walls, these are going to need a whole lot of pointing, repairing. So when that comes to the point that needs doing, we probably will revisit this, because the whole lot needs emptying out to be able to do that. And maybe we will get to give it a good clean and investigate a little bit further this end patch. We kind of think this is probably a drainage. We're not sure.
No.
But it's certainly different to the rest of it. The rest of it, if I stand back a little bit, the rest of it is fairly uniform. Where you see all these darker patches, that's where there's still a thicker soil. We've got some darker stones.
Yeah.
But it's cobbles everywhere, and then as it goes up to the top, it just changes. But it will have to stay as it is.
It's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere. It's been here this long, 200 odd years. It's not going anywhere.
No.
The wall, a few people said, are we going to take down the middle wall? Probably not. One, because it was probably built years and years and years ago, and it also keeps it neat and tidy, doesn't it? With having two sections, one being over this side, be the working area.
Yeah.
This will be more of the storage part. Yeah. So we will leave it as it is.
Yeah, and it was never when we first came we thought, oh, it's fallen down.
Yeah.
But it was never a full wall from what we can make out.
It doesn't look like it, does it? It looks like it was always just a divider of two areas.
The wall the window would have ended up 12 inches wide, and the wall would have actually filled 2 foot of it. So it was just a divider from what we can see.
Yeah, separate different animals, maybe different purposes.
Oh, and
to
just
keep
to
them
confirm,
separate.
It was horses kept in here.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I haven't said, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We had a visit, didn't we?
Yeah.
Last week.
And her dad used to bring their horse in and the horse's foal over the winter.
So
it was horses.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to leave Ben scrubbing.
Thanks. I'm going to a ball later.
Yeah, with a fancy dress.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling you might lose one shoe as well.
Dear.
Anyway, let me turn this around.
Oh, you're coming down?
Yeah, we might as well.
Click, click.
I won't be able to get
that
back
was
up.
your knees.
I know. It might be my knees, my ankles. But that's us, really, isn't it, for this week? Was there anything else for you?
So many new subscribers. Oh. Thanks ever so much for subscribing and the all-important like and loads of comments.
We're a little bit blown away with the views really that we got on last week's video.
Views are huge. So yeah, hopefully, go on.
I was just going to say it's really nice to know that there's loads and loads of people out there that share the fascination that we have with this kind of thing.
You appreciate
it's just a floor
us on our hands and knees in a scrubbing brush,
yeah.
trying to uncover just
just a floor,
some stones.
It's a floor with history.
Yeah. So yeah, subscribers, thank you very much, and channel members and likes and comments and all of those.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we will see you hopefully in the kitchen.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Taking out the old this fireplace to reveal the old fireplace. Have a lovely week. See you later.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.